Welcome back. I have a tiny tidbit and then a bigger tidbit, but I like this little poem. If you have a pup, you'll appreciate it. The pup. He tore the curtains yesterday and scratched the paper on the wall. Ma's rubbers, too, have gone astray. She says she left them in the hall. He tugged the tablecloth and broke a fancy saucer and a cup. Though Bud and I think it a joke, Ma scolds a lot about this pup. The sofa pillows are a sight. The rugs are looking somewhat frayed, and there is ruin left and right that little Boston bull has made. He slept on Buddy's counterpane. Ma found him there when she woke up. I think it's needless to explain. She scolds a lot about that pup. And yet he comes and licks her hand and sometimes climbs into her lap. And there Bud lets me understand he very often takes his nap. And Bud and I have learned to know she wouldn't give the rascal up. She's really fond of him, although she scolds a lot about that pup. Edgar Allan Guest. I like his poetry. Okay, I have another one to go with that. Who cares? And this is very special to me because it involves somebody that I've always had appreciated all through my life. Who cares? Who really cared? He was a routine admission to a busy Bellevue hospital. A charity case, one among hundreds. A bum from the Bowery with a slashed throat. The Bowery, last stop before the morgue. Synonym of filth, loneliness, cheap booze, drugs, and disease. The details of what happened in the pre-dawn of the chilly winter's morning were fuzzy. The nurse probably shrugged it off. She had seen thousands, and she was sure to see thousands more. Would it have been any different? It would have made any difference to her and those who treated him had they known who he was? Probably so. His recent past was the antithesis of his earlier years. The Bowery became the dead-end street of an incredible life. But all that was over. A 25-cent-a-night flophouse had rooms you hear about, but never want to see, full of stinking humanity, too miserable to describe. He was one among many. Like all the rest, he had lived only to drink. His health was gone, and he was starving. On the icy January morning, when the sun had crept over New York's skyline, a shell of a man who looked twice his age staggered to the washbowl and fell. The basin toppled and shattered. He was found lying in a heap, naked and bleeding from a deep gash in his throat. His forehead was badly bruised, and he was semi-conscious. A doctor was called, no one special. Remember, this was the Bowery. He used black sewing thread somebody found to suture the wound. That would do. All the while, the bum begged for a drink. A buddy shared the bottom of a rum bottle to calm his nerves. He was dumped in a paddy wagon and dropped off at the Bellevue Hospital, where he would languish, unable to eat, for 3 days. Still unknown. A friend seeking him was directed to the local morgue. There, among the dozens of other colorless, nameless corpses with tags on their toes, he was identified. When they scraped together his belongings, they found a ragged, dirty coat with 38 cents in one pocket and a scrap of paper in the other. All his earthly goods. Enough coins for another night in the Bowery, and 5 words: dear friends and gentle people. Does that give a hint to you? Almost like the words of a song, someone thought. But who cares? Why in the world would a forgotten drunk carry around a line of lyrics? Maybe he still believed he had it in him. Maybe that derelict with the body of a bum still had the heart of a genius. For once upon a time, long before his tragic death, at age 38, he had written the songs that literally made the whole world sing. Like, can you guess? Captown Races, Oh Susanna, Beautiful Dreamer, Jeannie with the light brown hair, Old Folks at Home, My Old Kentucky Home. I grew up singing those a lot. And 200 more that have become deeply rooted in our rich American heritage. Thanks to Stephen Foster, whom nobody knew and for whom nobody cared. Makes me think of a few lines out of an old poem preachers once quoted. And many a man with life out of tune and battered and scarred with sin is auctioned cheap to the thoughtless crowd, much like the old violin. A mess of pottage, a glass of wine, a game, and he travels on. He's going once and going twice, and going and almost gone. That's from that poem, The Old Violin. Almost gone, until someone cares and steps in and stoops down and in love rebuilds a life, restores a soul, rekindles the flame that sin snuffed out, and renews a song that once was there. As Fanny Crosby put it, touched by a loving heart, wakened by kindness, chords that were broken will vibrate once more. Deep within many a forgotten life is a scrap of hope, a lonely melody trying hard to return. Some are in prison, some in hospitals, some in nursing homes, and some silently slip into the church on Sunday morning, terribly confused and afraid. Do you care? Enough to show hospitality to strangers, as Hebrews 13:2 puts it? It also says that in doing so, we occasionally entertain angels without knowing it. Angels that don't look anything like angels. Some might look like bums from the Bowery, but they may have a song dying in their hearts because nobody knows and nobody cares. But Jesus cares. Spend enough time in any of the, anyhow, I won't go into that, but Jesus cares, and we must care too. There's some precious souls out there that need our touch. God bless you.